Welcome everyone from my side to the webinar, and thanks for joining today. We will talk about the Sophos MSP program and explain you how it works and how you can improve your business overall by using Sophos technology. So first of all, a quick recap of the team that is supporting you as an MSP. And for Nordics and Middle East Africa partners, we have NEEMEA, who will be presenting later all the details around Sophos MSP Connect. And we have Daniel in the team as well. He's serving you from the inside sales. What's important is if you want to contact us, you have any questions after the webinar, please use the email contact for the team, which is msp.sales.northerneurope@sophos.com or msp.sales.mea@sophos.com for Middle East and Africa partners. So let's get started. Before we jump right into Sophos technology and how the Sophos program for MSP works, I would like to talk about the MSP market in general and why it's so important to get into this market. So the first thing we need to look at is, what is a managed service provider model? Why is it so good for you as a partner and so profitable? So first of all, let's look at what the definition of a managed service provider is. And this is, by the way, the definition taken from Wikipedia. It's a long sentence, but it's a managed service provider is a company that remotely manages a customer's IT infrastructure and or user systems, typically on a proactive basis under a subscription model. What a complicated sentence. But what it basically says is a managed service provider is servicing his customers. He's not selling a product. So that's the key of this business, service as a product, and the service comes with a fixed price and a fixed defined packaged service. So that's the first thing. The second thing is about how to deliver the service. An MSP usually uses remote management to monitor his customers and provide support. And have, let's say, overview of the threat cases. So it's a more or less location-independent service. And there's heavy focus on service automation for MSPs because they want to have the highest protection for their customers and the lowest cost. So it's all about getting the process cost down to be profitable on the long run. And the third aspect is, of course, the usage-based monthly billing. So every MSP is using an on-demand model to sell his service contracts with a monthly billing scheme and a plannable cost. And it's about long-term service relationships with customers. And that is replacing the typical deal business where I sell a product and move on to the next customer. And if you do that, you become a virtual CIO for your customer, which is basically the role. You are the consultant of the customer. You help the customers to improve their business, to run technology, and to look where they can overall gain more profitability and a better business situation. That's the perfect situation to be in, because at the end of the day, it brings you into a much more profitable and better situation as a partner, because MSPs have several advantages over a reseller. First of all, it's the recurring revenue. Imagine at the beginning of the month, you get your income guaranteed and you have your costs covered or even more, because it's a fixed schedule. You have service contract signed, and so you get the money at the beginning of the month. It's very plannable. Second thing is you can acquire new customer groups, especially the small to medium customers are reluctant to do heavy investments into security technology. And with an on-demand monthly billing model with plannable costs, it's a totally different discussion. If you talk about, let's say, €100 or $100 per month compared to $5,000 now, it's a totally different discussion, much easier sell. Then customer loyalty, of course, if a customer is actually outsourcing IT to you, security, for example, and it's happy and it's working, they rely on you. So therefore, they're much more dependent on you. So they will be loyal unless you do not deliver a proper job. And as your service contracts are very individual, they're not easy to compare next to each other so that another partner can deliver the same product. You don't have this price pressure as you have with reselling a product that everyone can resell. And so customers will not move away for 1 or 2% of price advantage to a non-comparable service from another partner. And that brings you at the end of the day a much higher profitability, not comparable prices. Customers are dependent on you. If they're happy, they stick to you, they trust you. And you can get up to a 70% margin on a MSP model if you do it right. Look at automation, look at the right technology. Sophos has the right technology for you to make this happen, to get to 70% margin. The next thing we should look at is why are customers turning to managed service providers? So there are three main drivers for that. The first one is the technology complexity. Every customer needs IT. IT is in the center of everything today. In the age of digitalization, there's no company not running major processes and systems on IT. So they need 24/7 support. It needs to work, and they are challenged with lack of in-house skills. So it's hard to find good IT people and especially security people. So they will turn to a service provider to do the job for them. Second thing is security concerns. As you might know, security threats are constantly evolving and changing. It's a very fast-paced business to be in, and it's hard to keep up, even for us, with bad guys. So how is it for an end customer, let's say a small customer? It's impossible to stay on top of these threats and have the right technology and process in place to fight that. So they will turn to a specialized security service provider that has the technology and the knowledge and the experience to do this. So, and the third thing is the big shift from CapEx to predictable OpEx. As I said, it's a totally different animal to talk about monthly plannable costs than to talk about once-off investments. It's much easier to plan. Every CFO will love predictable costs. So it's a much better model for them. That will drive customers to this on-demand monthly billing. And the shift from on-premise to cloud-delivered services is a big driver as well. And Sophos is run on managed through the cloud. So that will help you as well to have more and more customers. And that results in a brilliant market trend. So the global MSP market is predicted to grow by 11% in average till 2022 to a market of $268 billion. And guess what? 30% of that market is managed security. So if you want to play in the whole managed services market, you need to have security services at hand to offer to your customers to make the best out of this business. And of course, we're looking into what MSPs want because we're adjusting our program to your needs. So I think one important thing for you is to increase your revenue. And you can do that with Sophos. You have a lot of cross and upsell opportunities with our broad portfolio. NEEMEA will talk about that later. You can increase your profitability through our aggregate billing. So you can start small and over time, your prices go down the more you consume. We help you lower cost by helping you to reduce your vendor management. You can get everything from one vendor, so make your life easier. We help you with automation, with synchronized security, and we help you to go from CapEx to OpEx. And we drive your operational efficiency forward by integrating into your ecosystem. So we look at the RMMs of this world, what's used by MSPs. We're working on connectivity, and we have a simple to use dashboard where you can automate a couple of things to make your processes as best as possible. And look at what the most successful MSPs of Sophos doing right now in NEEMEA. They use 4.7 different Sophos products on average. So they're using the portfolio to their advantage. Already 50% of them use endpoint and network security. So they're using our synchronized security technology to automate responses. And the result is they grow their revenue monthly by 5 to 10%. So that's a huge and fast growth over time. So now I want to hand over to Dima Dabur. She's a channel account executive, and she will talk about all the details of why Sophos is the right vendor for you as an MSP.
Hello, everyone. I'm just gonna present my screen now. Yes. So I hope and continue with our MSP program Connect and how that helps you to grow your managed services business, taking into consideration the market opportunity that Michael just shared. So there are three main pillars and benefits to our program, which is one security vendor, one management dashboard, and one flexible program. And we'll go that in a bit and explain how that will help you to reduce costs and increase revenue, as well as increase operational efficiency. And that's what most MSP wants in their business. So to talk about one security vendor, I wanted just to tell you a little bit about a big survey that we carried out around the globe. And we wanted to get a bit more information about IT personnel, how they are spending their days and what are their current challenges. Of course, you can reach out to us for the complete survey if you would like to. And that's across all IT companies, partners included, like yourself. And the shocking fact is that organizations spend 4 days a month, around that 4 days a month, investigating potential incidents. So they are maybe infections, but maybe not. So, but that just takes so much of the time. And 15% of that turn out to be actual infections. And that brings us to the importance actually of EDR and detection and response that will give you visibility on what is really happening. And of course, there are overall 7 days a month as well, which we will show in a bit later slides, that IT people are spending to clean up infections. So that's when you spend 4 days a month investigating potential incidents, but when you have infection, you can spend up to 7 days a month just cleaning up these infections. And the second challenge when we talk about IT companies and partners is that they are almost all in agreement that it's very hard to recruit cybersecurity specialists. So I have been in talks with so many partners in the region, and they are all looking for people, and they want good people. And the same as well for customers. And that's why customers are moving more towards managed services provider, because they can just outsource this task where they are unable to find good people to managed service providers, that they can just take care of that and then focus on their business. But the same challenge applies for managed service providers as well and partners. And that's where it's very important when we talk about one vendor that can give you all the products. I will talk in a minute. So instead of you as an MSP to focus on different products so that you can offer the services to your customer, Sophos comes and brings you all these products in one vendor. One vendor that can offer all kind of protection, that you can do a service offering around that. And with this, you can, of course, reduce the cost for your engineers to learn these products, and as well as reduce the cost to manage them. How many dashboards, how many management consoles you have to deal with, because as an MSP, you have to do that for your customers. And that's where Sophos as a vendor comes in place and offer you all these products in one place. So when we talk about Sophos Central, it's a central dashboard, a cloud-managed dashboard that enables MSP to deploy and manage all these security products in one place. So for you as an MSP partner, you can manage firewalls, email security, wireless, phishing and phish threat, which is a phishing and learning system to reduce phishing in organizations, endpoint protection, anti-ransomware, anti-hacking protection, mobile device management, server protection, as well as encryption. So all these products are in one place that you can easily have your engineers learn, support, and that will help you to make your customers happier, of course, because you are able easily to respond to their requests, and of course you increase the cost of you learning and keeping it up with all these products. Now, not only that, you know, we talked about 2 slides ago about the time that IT companies spend just in detecting issues and then acting on these issues. So if we look, what Sophos offers, and that's unique for Sophos in the market, is synchronized security, where you can have automated response to attacks. So our endpoint can easily talk to firewall that to isolate an attacked endpoint for not communicating outside to attackers. Also, the endpoint can isolate itself from other endpoints, that's called lateral movement, so that the attacker cannot move laterally inside the network and infects others. And that's typical if we look at attacks like Emotet, for example. So that's the advantage of synchronized security, and that works automatically, right? Once you have the products, you can enable synchronized security automatically. And that brings us to the benefits. You can easily reduce these 7 days. I mentioned earlier, you spend 7 days on fixing infected computers. With Intercept X, with synchronized security, Intercept X is our anti-ransomware product, and synchronized security that works with our firewall. You can get a response from these 7 days to 8 seconds. And 85% of customers who use synchronized securities agreed that it improved a lot the posture of their network and helped them to reduce this time month over month. So that's the advantage of Sophos. Sophos in general as one vendor for all your security products and offerings. Now, just to emphasize on that, we have a case study. You can check it out yourself, but that's where really Sophos helped data price that are a typical MSP to increase their efficiency and productivity and profitability when using Sophos. Because imagine you don't need to learn so many consoles, you don't need to learn many products, and you have products that are the best of we are leader in the magical quadrant in endpoint. We have one in the MRG Effortas. We can provide you all our proof points. We have a top rating in NSS Labs for our firewalls. So you can be sure that you are giving the best protection for your customers, but at the same time, you don't need to learn many consoles. And we have a live case study on that with data price. So please feel free to check it out. We will share these slides with you. So overall, that means this company reduced 1,500 labor hours. Of course, if you sell so many products and you manage them, and then you go to one management console, one vendor, this is the amount of hours you will be saving. And of course, the response. Just think of the math, 7 hours to 8 seconds. The second aspect of the MSP program is one management dashboard. So in Sophos Central, you get 2 dashboards. One is the partner dashboard, where you as an MSP can see all your customers. We will go in a bit more detailed view in a second. And of course, there is the admin dashboard, which is more of the customer, the dedicated customer dashboard, where you can set up policies and etc. And as an MSP, you have full access on your customer's dashboard. And it's important here to mention that we did another survey that says 81% of executives say that platform-based business is the way to go. So that's how companies will move. And it's very important for you to see that we are aligned with where the market is going. So when you partner with Sophos for your managed service provider product, you are partnering with the right company that is aligned with the market transition and where the market is going. So if we just drill down a little bit on the partner dashboard, so here you can see a very straightforward view of your customers and most importantly, your alerts. What is happening with my customers so that I can proactively go and resolve their alerts, attend to any issues. So then I can show my value as a virtual CIO for the customer, right? So here you can see straight when you log in, your alerts view, and you can of course see also the usage of your customers, what are they using, and your firewalls, etc. Now, when you go to your customers, you can easily also choose one customer and go to manage that particular customer with policies and etc. So it's just very easy and straightforward. And we have as well SIM integration APIs. So we have a knowledge-based article on that. We don't need to go into details, but we give you the ability to automate, right? To integrate with these systems. And that comes back to the increasing your operational efficiency. That's very important for an MSP. We have an advanced email alerting system that enables you in the partner dashboard to configure alerts, which alerts goes to whom, so that if you have multiple departments, that one department, for example, takes care of firewalls, another one takes care of email, or you have set of engineers who takes care of certain accounts, then you can easily route emails and do advanced email configuration, alert configuration to these persons. And creating a monthly customer has never been easier. If you want to start a customer on MSP, it's just by clicking this create monthly button and filling in the information, which takes like less than 2 minutes, and you will be able to start a paying monthly customer. And it's just about deployment and moving forward. And in terms of deployment, we give you the ability to automate. Again, as we said, we help you to increase your operational efficiency by giving you options to automate deployments. So we give you the potential to use SIM installer, that you can have a script and automate the installation of endpoints, as well as integration with RMM tools. So we have, right now, we have integration with ConnectWise, Kisaya, and ServerEye, that is more maybe common in Germany. And in the summer, hopefully, we are getting Datto, Autotask, SolarWinds, and Continuum. And again, that's very important for managed service provider, this integration that helps you to automate. In MSP, it's all about automation and making revenue without doing so much work and focusing on consultancy and managed service. You can easily as well get your usage. So you can see here what is the customers, what are your customers using. And it's very important to look at this white space here. It's called white space analysis. Everything that is white space, that means a potential cross-sell for me as a partner. And that's very good view for any business development manager or a business owner who has some customers and wants to grow the business. And it's very easy to look at the current customers. What are they using? What kind of bundle service offering I can have? And then run a campaign on that. And then we come as Sophos and help you with all sorts of campaigns and marketing collateral in the partner portal. And we have here our marketing hero, Anna, that can help you with that, just to make cross-sell campaigns and generate more revenue. And that links to what Michael has been sharing earlier, right? We help you to increase revenue. How? By cross-selling. So we give you a tool to see your cross-sell opportunity, but then it's just very easy in Central to add another product. So we help you with all angles, from sales perspective, pre-sales perspective, as well as marketing perspective, to generate more revenue, and of course reduce your cost because you are working on one management console. And then you can easily download your usage file, so you can get a report of what your customers, how many licenses they are using, so that you can send this report to your finance department and then do the invoicing accordingly. Trials, it's very common that partners also have trials because they do on the term business, on the yearly business. But in MSP, it's very easy to do trials. You just start a new customers and you deploy it and you move on from there. But at the same time, if you are a Sophos partner already, or if you have a customer who has a trial that is already running and he wants to be an MSP customer, you can just easily convert it to an MSP customer, but you just need to reach to us through the shared mailboxes that Michael shared earlier. Then we can, of course, integrate with PSA tools to help you as well with the automation. And here you can see ConnectWise, we connect with that. So that's just some screenshots on ConnectWise. We can help you, of course, if you need more information. And when we come to support, we have a dedicated support only for MSPs that sits in the UK, and advanced support. That does not, it's not the normal support that Sophos customers have. And here it's very important for MSPs because you as an MSP is the level 1 support. You are the main point of contact for your customers. And then you need the backup from the vendor that if you get stuck, if you need help, then the vendor is here to help you. And that's what we offer you with Sophos MSP. So we covered one vendor, we covered one dashboard, and then we need to cover the third and final aspect of the MSP program, which is the actual program. So the MSP program sits on top of Sophos Central and gives you the ability to do monthly billing, but in a very easy and convenient way for you to increase revenue. And to elaborate on that, I would like to show you that these are the products that runs on Sophos Central today. And they are all offered as a managed service provider offering on a monthly basis. So to keep it simple, we have 4 categories. We have the user category, which everything, of course, that is user-based is licensed under that category. So it's endpoint, anti-ransomware, mobile, device encryption, and email and phish threats, right? And then we have another category for devices, which is the firewalls, servers, which is another category. It's a very important category, and wireless for access points. And the advantage then comes is that the more you sell as a partner, we will aggregate your licenses. So if you look at this example, so let's say you have a customer A with 180 users. These 180 users may be 100 of endpoint, 50 of mobile, and 30 of encryption. So you get 180 users. We aggregate that. And then 25 servers, 5 wireless, etc. And then when we look at your usage as a partner, we will aggregate all of your users into a final number. And this is what we mean here by 860 users, 45 servers, and etc. Now, what does that mean? Is that when you go to the MSP price list, you will be charged on a higher band the more you sell, and that means your cost will go down. And that's how you make more revenue and reduce your cost with us as an MSP. So you can easily, when you sell to your customers, sell maybe on the 1 to 99 user band, because it's like 180 users in the first example. But then when we charge you, when we bill you, it's on the higher band. So the more you sell across all the products, the more revenue you can make as an MSP. Now, it's important to know who does what in our MSP program. So Sophos is a pure 100% channel company. We only work through the channel. So we are a channel-based company, to be honest. That's our mantra. And so we have a distribution in all the countries, and then we have our MSP partners. So the MSP partner needs to sign an application with Sophos to accept the legal terms and conditions with Sophos. And then we give you the access of the dashboard that will enable you to create customers. But then the distribution will send the MSP every month an invoice based on the aggregated consumption of all the customers. And then you as an MSP needs to pay the invoice to the distributor and then use the usage report that I showed earlier to create invoices to your specific customers and so forth. Also, it's very important to know that MSPs are level 1 support, so they are responsible for supporting the customers, and that's the typical model, right? So that's the slide of who does what, and what is the journey to become MSP. Now the slides make it look a bit more complicated than it is. It's as simple as you sign up an application, you do 2 trainings that takes 4 hours at maximum. So there are sales-oriented trainings just for you to understand what MSP is, what Sophos MSP is, and the value of Sophos Central and Synchronized Security. And on the way, we will give you partner portal access, of course, because you need to do the training. So you need to access our partner portal so that you can do them. And then we need, of course, your distributor approval, because you will have the financial interactions. So we need their approval. And after that, we'll flag you in our system as MSP Flex. That will enable you to create monthly customer. And that's it. Now, of course, as you go along, you need a bit more training on the product itself so that you are more fit. But it's very easy to start up with our program. And just for you to know, and I have it later in another slide, I made a survey, I made a calculation of the people who start, how many applications, MSP applications I get this month, and how many of them start generating billing. So I see them in my billing report every month. And 80% of partners start from month 1. So that's how simple is it just to start and create customers. And I want to touch base a little bit. Michael shared earlier how the top 20 partners in NEEMEA are doing, but let's have more spotlight on the region that we are addressing. So just for you to know that our top 20 MSPs in this region use 7 different products in average, because it's one management dashboard, it's very easy to cross-sell, yeah? And they are using at least 4. 60% of these partners, they sell both endpoint and XG networking products, and they focus on synchronized security. That's the value, right? And that's why with XG and with synchronized security, you can really grow your month-to-month billing by 20% month-over-month. That brings you to an average on a year-to-year at 200 plus. So it's a very big number if we put it in perspective. Top 20%, top 20 MSPs in NEEMEA grow their recurring monthly revenue at 8% month over month, and that's equal to 133% year over year. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very good number. It's really, if you put it month over month, it's not very big, but when you put it year over year, then this is where it accumulates. And we have the ability, as I said earlier, to grow at 20% month over month when you sell hardware, and I will show you a little bit what that means in a second. And you can even have the potential to grow at 48% month over month, and that's our top 2 MSPs in NEEMEA, just by selling Intercept X, which is our anti-ransomware product, and our XG. And of course, this is where synchronized security is clicked, right? So Intercept X, that's going to help you with reducing infection, reduce these 7 days that you spend every month on infecting computers, and then automated response with firewall that when a machine is infected, just cut it off, right? If you as an MSP start with us and focus on this synchronized security, firewalls, and anti-ransomware, I can confidently guarantee you that you will grow at 50% month over month. And at the end of the year, you will be extremely happy. So let's take an example about XG firewalls and how our MSPs use it in their hardware as a service offering and how they make money. So XG is our third most selling MSP offerings. So we have, of course, our top two are endpoint protection and anti-ransomware. So XG comes just after that. In some regions like Africa, XG is almost the top selling offering in the region. And if we take an example of a very small firewall, this is our most sellable firewall as a service, and it comes at a list price. That's the MSRP price of $595. I haven't added shipping. I haven't added customs for some of the regions there that have different, etc. That's just the MSRP. If we apply some special discount, which normally we try to help MSPs if they want to have a couple of boxes so that they can own and rent out, then the cost will be 446. And then most of the MSPs, the successful scenarios that I have worked with, they try to recap, take a full ROI of that box after around 8 months, 6 to 8 months. And if you just divide this cost by 8, then you get this amount here, $55. And then you take the software price, which is the Enterprise Guard. It's the next generation firewall plus Sandstorm, which is the sandboxing. And then they have the cost. You have a cost of your firewall or hardware as a service security of $24 plus $55. So let's make it simple, $80. And that's your rental monthly cost to your customers. Of course, that's your cost as an MSP. You, of course, uplift that with your margin / you add your own services, and so the profit will be much more. So you will be able, if you do this example, to return the cost. If you don't put any margin, you will have your full cost of the hardware in 8 months. And most MSPs have their agreement with their customers for at least 12 months, otherwise there's a penalty period. But after 12 months, you will be able to have a profit of $200, which is like 50% of the initial price of the hardware. And the lifetime of the hardware is 36 months, 3 years. And in MSP, even if you lose a customer, you can just take the hardware, it's your hardware, yeah, and rent it out to another customer. And then if we just continue this calculation, you will make a profit on the hardware alone without adding new services to 3 times more than 3 times of the initial hardware cost. So $1,500 out of $595, so it's almost 3 times. That's just a simple example how you as an MSP can make more profit with Sophos MSP with your services. And the advantage of selling this as a service against selling it as a product, when you go and you want to replace a firewall for a certain customer, you don't even talk about replacing the hardware. You are talking about a service. You are offering a synchronized security service that will offer your customers the ability to have an 8-second response instead of 3.3 hours or instead of the 7 days. And that's the service that you are offering. And that will make you make this money, all right? We have other examples. We have service offering. We can definitely help you with that in the MSP team, but this is just a teaser for you to know how profitable working with Sophos can be on the managed service provider. So the resources, so we have our partner portal that has an MSP section in there that you can get all the resources, all the materials that you want to have. And this is the link to the partner portal in there. So that's a couple of the resources. And we are setting up an MSP community within Sophos. Yeah, we want you to feel as a part of a community. And so we have our LinkedIn group that you as an MSP, when you start up with us, can join it and stay up to date and connect with us. And we have a YouTube channel that gives you tips, tricks, technical sales material on YouTube, easy for you to access and watch whenever you want. We also run monthly enablement webinars. So when you start with us, it's important that you still date, you feel comfortable of all the aspects of the program of Sophos Central. So we run every month, every third Thursday of the month, we run an enablement webinar where I go and do a live demo of Sophos Central and all the MSP aspects and about XG. And then we share what's new, what's coming, best practices, some service offering that is hot in the market, and etc. So just to summarize what Sophos MSP Connect is one security vendor that can help you to simplify vendor management. That means it reduces your cost. You can easily expand your service offering and cross-sell, which will, of course, reduce your cost, but also increase your revenue because of the aggregated licensing that I just showed you, and leverage the automation of synchronized security. And that will give you increased efficiency, increased customer satisfaction. You really be the virtual CIO that your customers will renew with, and you have this long relationship with the customer. The second aspect of the MSP program, one management dashboard that is easily to use, cloud-based, very simple, and we give you all the automation tool that you want to help you to increase your operational efficiency. One flexible program that you have a monthly billing, there is no order process in place, you don't need to send order in PDF and wait for acknowledgement and process and etc. You just deploy and you get your usage at the end of the month. It's very easy to start. As I told you, it's about signing up an application, couple of 2 trainings that takes maximum 4 hours, then you start, and 80% of our partners generates dollars or euros or whatever currency you work with in their first month, 80%. And then, of course, volume-based discount model, aggregated licensing, and then you can grow your profitability over time. So that's the summary of the program. I wish you all are very excited about what we have shared with you. What is next? Please, if you like what you hear, join our program. This is the link, and just sign up. It takes 2 minutes to fill an application. And if you have any other question, just reach out to us. These are our emails depending on your region, and we'll be happy to assist you. Me and Daniel in the Nordics, and Mia and Lars and Andreas in Eastern Europe. But please use these email addresses and we will get back to you. So I think I finished just sharp on time, 10 minutes before the end of the webinar, and we'll be happy to take any question from the questions panel. So is there any unanswered question? I know that Daniel and Andreas have been answering questions all throughout the session. Can someone give me what are?
Yes, Dima, maybe you can give, to make sure that we covered all questions, an example of how it is possible to establish XG firewall services for managed service providers, as many maybe can imagine to do managed endpoint or infrastructure security, but have question marks when it comes to a physical appliance.
Okay. So in Sophos, when it comes to physical appliances, yes, I think I have missed to mention explicitly that you as an MSP need to buy the hardware upfront. And then when you buy that hardware upfront, you as an MSP own that, and then you can rent it out to your customers. But the subscription on this hardware, the next generation firewall, the sandboxing, or even the full protection on that, it's a monthly basis subscription. And that's why I showed you this example that, yes, maybe you need to have an initial investment upfront for the firewall, but then you rent it out, and then you make an ROI of your investment after 6 to 8 months, and then you make a profit. We may have very good news in the summer that the virtual firewall will be totally on a monthly basis subscription. But that's how it is. So I hope I answered the question. Was that the question, Andreas?
Yes, that was. I hope
we will
covered it in the right way.
When you start up with us as an MSP and you sign up, this is part of our daily work, me and Daniel, is just help partners to start up on XG, because that's where the real accelerator is. So start with us, start as an MSP partner, reach out to us, and we will definitely help you and guide you. I have worked with so many partners with their service offering on the firewall side, so we will help you with that. What other questions, Andreas, that we can cover, please? I'm counting on you so that I don't go through the full list.
I think in the meantime, we covered all questions. Maybe we can give an example for licensing in terms of how the invoicing process took place, that, you know, we count active licenses in the last 30 days. Maybe this will inform one or the other partner about open question. But
yes,
covered everything.
So there is a question about the price list, of course, the price list that you need to get from your distributor, and then they will send it to you. And when you get this price list, it's important to know that it's a partner price list. So whatever numbers you put in there, there is a calculator and it will populate with the live numbers based on what you put in there. And that's your cost as a partner. If you are already a partner with Sophos that does the term business, you will have this MSRP customer price, and then there is your discount. But in the MSP, what you get is your cost. And then the hardware price is that you need to buy as a hardware based on the standard discount on the Sophos partner level. You wanted to, one thing very important to know, as Andreas mentioned, is that we as Sophos count usage based on the active usage count. So let's say you sold a customer 100 license of endpoint, but then during summer, 10 of those didn't really connect to the central dashboard for the full month. And in that billing cycle, you will get billed only on 90 users, not the full 100, where you can easily go and invoice your customers for that. So we really, the message here is that Sophos really takes care of making you profitable, so that you can make more money and have this support from the vendor. If we have some time, I think maybe I can share the price list just quickly. I can share the Europe Live price list and show you how it looks like. But please reach out to your distributor to get the full price list. So I'm gonna just jump a little bit to the price list.
Now it appears.
You know what I did? I had to stop sharing and start again. Changing the sharing just don't work. So yeah. So apologies again. So now this is the price list when you get it from your distributor, and it has this calculator here. And then it's very straightforward. Let's say you are doing a quotation for your customer on anti-ransomware product, and your customer is 100 users. So you just type 100 users, and then you get the price per user per month. And then let's say you uplift that by 20% or whatever, and then you sell to your customers. But let's say you sell another 100 here of endpoint. You sell another 200 of mobile. And if you see, the more you sell, the price per product goes down. And then when you get the invoice, you will get your aggregated licensing. Then the whole price goes down. So think about that. So let's see here. I sold 500 users. So my total usage is now 800. So I moved to the other one, 500 and above. And then my price, my cost as an MSP goes down. So then you can just easily, what most MSP do is that, okay, I have this particular customer, I will just use the calculator, and based on this particular customer, I do my price, but then the more I sell, my cost goes down, and then I make more margin at the end. So that's the advantage of it. So then here you find the user tab, the server tab. As we said, we have the categories, and you have the XG, which is the firewalls tab, and of course the wireless. And then you can go and decide. And here are the appliances costs. And your discount is based on your partner level in Sophos. But what we do in the MSP team is that if you come to us, like you want to sell hardware as a service, you want to sell our XG, you want, of course, to buy the hardware upfront, we can help you. If you buy a couple of boxes, we can help you with some discount so that it reduces this initial cost. And then with the example we just shared, then you can easily make your return of investment in 6 to 8 months. And then after that, it's all profit, yeah? So it's a lot of information. Maybe we have enablement webinar to dig more detailed in this area. So just sign an application, start with us in the MSP program, and we will make sure to support you throughout your journey so that you can be one of these 80% of partners that starts their monthly billing from month 1 and then grow with 20% month over month and 200% year over year. We will make sure to support you with that journey. So if we have no further questions, I think we are right on time. I really thank everyone for joining. Most of you stayed to the end. Apologies for this small technical difficulties, but we wanted to give you, me and Michael, a good view from both perspectives, and I look forward hearing from everybody in the coming future. So thank you, everyone. Have a good day and rest of the week.
Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dima. Thank you, Michael. Just another information, we have recorded the webinar, and you will receive the recording and the slides with a follow-up email tomorrow. From my side, I thank you all for your attention today. I hope you enjoyed our webinar. I hope you also will register as our MSP, and I also hope to welcome you in our upcoming webinars on MSP and some other product webinars. Thank you very much. Have a nice rest of the day, and goodbye.